departure looked like he might have taken a second win. He had almost, when I was watching the game, I was almost convinced there's no way Pig Baby can win this game. And then he pulls on this crazy attack with beautiful micro. And now we're tied up, and Cal, you got the fans behind him, 162 wins in Pro League and all-time. A 6-6 player with the fans behind him. Maybe he can win a PvP here, just like his teammate Creator did before him in game number 1.
Yeah, PvPs always could go either way, depending on what builds go down, which player is a better micro. But he's up against this guy, Terminator. JINAIR Grooming's having a bunch of fans of their own. And this guy, so far, he's 1-1 in Pro League 2014. He's not at 50% overall, but he did lose his one game against a Protoss, so that could factor in. Maybe PvP isn't his best matchup. We don't have the stats right there on screen for all of the PvPs he's ever played. But.
Yeah, we'll see how he does in this match against a legend, somebody who has the fans rally behind him, somebody who's been able to beat Liquid Hero in his very first televised match in a Protoss versus Protoss. And we're going on to the map, Bel'Shir-Vestige, a 2-player map. Anything could happen here. Which one of these two teams is going to take the lead? Find out.
LTA는 SK텔레콤.
Up here in the top left, the red Protoss for Prime. This is Cal.
And his opponent, spawning to the bottom right of the map for JINAIR Groomings, is Terminator. And we'll see how this one plays out for him. Definitely got to be some nerves going into this one playing against somebody like Cal. Hey, JINAIR Groomings fans on camera. Show those signs.
Show the signs. There's that one girl on the left who's kind of hiding behind her sign. The one on the right is kind of like excited.
Yeah, excited. Well, this is our second Protoss versus Protoss of our second match here, and it'll be fun to see how Cal's style differs from Creator's style and how Terminator's style differs from SOS, because of course they train together, they live together, and I'm sure they talk strategy all the time when they're not actually playing. So
yeah, for you guys,
I was just saying difference in probe production. I don't know if he skipped a chrono or what happened there, but definitely one probe ahead here for Terminator right now.
Yep. Well, what I was going to say was, for you guys who play this game a ton, maybe you're in Masters, but you're like not on a team or anything, just imagine, you know, you're playing at your house alone. Maybe you have some friends that you talk to, maybe some practice partners, but imagine just having the guy that sits right next to you be also a pro player, a Grandmasters player maybe, and be a guy who you can just talk with at literally any time in the day about StarCraft 24/7 and just get that kind of mentoring from him. Not only him, but all the other guys at the same race in your whole house, the guys at the other race that you're having trouble against, as well as your coaches, as well as other practice partners on other teams out here in Korea.
Just like specific moments in games where, say on a Protoss or Protoss, you have 5 Blade Stalkers, and you're not sure if it's worth it to blink on the main base to try to do damage, or if you should send your Stalkers home, and whatever decision you make loses you the game. For you to be able to ask, you know, your teammate who's sitting right next to you, hey, can you watch this replay with me? I was wondering, like, you know, at this moment in the game, it was the first moment in the game where I thought, you know, the decision wasn't obvious. You know, do I use these Stalkers? What do you think? What would you have done? And let's look at the replay and think about what could have happened, what could have been different in that game. Or, you know, should I have attacked the natural, or should I have attacked the third base in this situation? Like, with the information I had, what would you have done, and how can this be different? Just any sort of thing to improve yourself. And you can look at the specific things too in replays. And, you know, just talking to your friend about a game that happened in passing is not the same thing as having a guy right next to you who you just wait until he finishes his ladder game and you can just tap on his shoulder and say, hey, can you check this replay out with me? You know, right there, with also, you know, 6+ other guys right behind you who also could support you. And having a coach, it's just a totally different atmosphere, and it's really, really nice what we have in Korea for esports. These KESPA teams, the League of Legends teams as well, and even Dota teams forming out here. So,
yeah, it's we've seen it actually in World Tanks. Teams that just recently get their pro houses just explode in skill level compared to other teams who don't have them. And when you see Korea as a whole, especially for StarCraft, every team out here that's like a big name pro team, they have a pro house, and they are improving so much because of that. And it's basically one of the things that you need to be really successful in this industry.
It's so important. So, Twilight Council Tech coming out here for Terminator, who has a fast expand, and Cal, on the other hand, is going Twilight Council Tech. So he wants to play. It looks like it's going to be a Blink play coming out of him. So, as soon as Terminator realizes that he's up against an aggressive Blink play, what he's going to want to do is probably get a Void Ray out to help defend, because with only one gateway, soon to be two, and then a very late third, he doesn't have a lot of production right now to power up to defend. Fake Oracle comes in first, and the funny thing is the next one that comes in is going to be very real. And he's concerned about it. Now he's just realized, okay, this is just a fake.
That's pretty cool, actually. Now Cal is probably like, okay, he's not going Stargate, but he's going to see actually the Stargate here, and he's going to be, well, that was strange, but he is now going to probably expect something that's real is going to be coming towards his base sometime soon. Here is that real Oracle is coming right across.
Yeah, Void Ray is started because he knows, okay, Blink is your play. So the thing is that I really like Terminator's position because he has this Oracle to keep Cal back. So Cal can't even start to poke right now before his Blink is even ready. He has the much faster Nexus. It's already up right now. He's already going to be able to start double pro production. And he has the answer for the Blink Stalker play, which is the Void Ray. And then he has his robotics going up. Void Rays just do so much damage to Stalkers, so it's really easy for him to have that defensive stance here. The Revelation allows him to see many great things. Doesn't actually let him know if Blink has been canceled or not. It's like the only piece of information he's missing. But since all the probes in the main base are revealed, you can see if any probe goes to make any tech ever, and it's just a great way for him to get information about what his opponent is doing. Also, if he moves out or not while that Revelation period is up.
One thing you can do when you can't actually do damage with that Oracle, it's too dangerous. Just lay down that Revelation and get a lot of information from that. Use that to your advantage rather than the direct economy hit.
Yeah. Well, here's the first Immortal coming out. He's making that instead of an Observer, just to be safe. And our Observer's just highlighting just how important it is to get that Immortal count up early. Oracle over here is still with no kills, but a lot of value. There's so much value in the Oracle because it keeps Cal back, keeps him from attacking, and this just means the Terminator can sit back on the tech that he's built up, which is faster Immortal tech, and he has this Nexus on. The Void Ray is going to be pretty useful throughout the entire game as well. It loses its usefulness the longer the game goes on, but in a situation like this, the Stalkers can never commit to trying to kill that Void Ray. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah. Coming across with Cal's first Stalkers there, he was just trying to get out on the map, see what he can see. He's going to now get that Elucidated Phoenix here. This Oracle is going to come in here, try to do a bit of damage, gets 3 of these probes, and now he's going to have to get out of here. Doesn't want to go down. Blink Stalkers aren't going to be able to chase after him. He does get out of there. But those 4 Stalkers out of Cal, he just wants to come over here, see what the army composition is out of Terminator. Sees that Void Ray, he's like, okay, kind of had an idea of what you're doing. I don't think he saw that Immortal. Seems like Terminator was able to hide that.
Yep. Those Stalkers that Cal has also look like they could just be there to, he sees a hallucinated Phoenix come across the map, intercept it and kill it, so that he can stop scouting information as well. So I like this, just little things like this when you have tech can be so useful. Because otherwise, in an army, Stalkers are totally useless. Cal looks like he's losing some of his hit points on the Stalkers, but it doesn't lose more than 1. I guess has that Phoenix for vision. And he's rushing out his Horde. Terminator is like, he's already got his +1. You know, it's been going on for a while now, whereas Cal only has his Forge finishing up now. He's getting his Twilight Council, which is going to let him get +2. I don't think he's going to get counter Blink because we've gotten so far into this game that Blink chases are not really going to be a problem for him. So he's not going to be thinking like, okay, well, I could win this fight if I had Blink because I can Blink on top of your Stalkers. We've already moved beyond that point with this many Immortals, so just going to go into Templar Tech, get his Archons out. Templar Archive goes up first for Cal, as good.
Yeah. And both players right now just throwing down those extra gateways. It seems like actually a third is coming down here for Terminator. Both these guys playing for that later game style. We actually saw Creator in that last game. He didn't go for a third himself. He just kind of powdered up and went for that attack and won with it. Whereas Terminator and his teammate SOS actually went for that third base. So interesting how these two styles kind of mesh here.
Yeah, playing it totally different. And it's interesting to me that Creator went for that attack. This is one of the reasons why Revelation is so great, because every probe that's revealed will reveal everything that it builds during that time period. Also being able to reveal these stalkers and lets them know exactly where they're going to be. But Creator, it was so interesting to me that Creator went for the attack in the first game, because it's just so unlike him. And I like that he's changing up his styling, not playing so passively, not letting his opponents come back. Stalkers cannot commit to the Void Ray with 3 Immortals there. But you could see he was thinking about it. But he respects the Void Ray in this case.
Yeah, you gotta respect that Void Ray, even if it's just one. Get that overcharge down. He's gonna laser you down. I
mean, if he committed to that attack and the Immortal was close enough to help out, he would have killed all of the Stalkers in the time it took to kill the Void Ray. So, Warp Prism comes out here, and the way it's rallied, looks like it's just rallied the same way all the rest of the robotics units over here are. But he could, I was gonna say, he could actually go for an Immortal drop. I just don't think that's gonna be his plan, especially with Stargate on the map.
Yeah, that would be very risky. If you lose that one more Prism, you're basically down 2 Immortals, and
it's too expensive.
Yeah, it's just way too expensive. We do have this third Nexus finally going down for Cal. It's not saturated just yet. Don't see any probes going over there just yet.
Oh, look at this. He actually spots the Warp Prism, but misses, doesn't realize it fast enough. And actually with the Warp Prism over here in the main, he may get it.
Oh, the Warp Prism actually gets away with 8 health. Those Zealots did have to be dropped though. And they are going to get that pylon over there.
Yeah, that's actually a small win. And he should save the Warp Prism. And he's going to be able to keep the Warp Prism for later. He's not going to be able to do any tanking. He's definitely not going to stay alive. It's more of a paper airplane than the Warp Prisms basically are.
Yep.
But it's just possibilities that he gets because he saves this. Worker count way in Cal's favor right now. He's made way more probes, and it looks like Terminator's going to attack. He's not really even making a probe. That's part of the reason why Cal takes this huge lead in the worker count. 4 Archons just in time to defend.
The thing about this worker count is that if he has such a higher worker count and he's barely up in supply, not even, then this army supply for Terminator is going to be much bigger. He did start those upgrades earlier as well. Don't know exactly where they're at, but a nice time warp going on to that army right now.
Yep, time warp goes down. Both of them decent. The Void Ray starting to help out, targeting down those armored stalkers. There's the charge up on the Void Ray. It's helping out so much here. The Immortals at the back doing their damage. The Archons, though, not able to participate here. Now he starts to get them in there, and Cal looks like he might not have enough to defend. It's going to be close, actually. The Void Ray is a big problem here.
It seems like a lot of this army for Terminator was in the back, but he still was able to clean this up. 2 of those Immortals being popped right there, and a really big army right in the face of Cal right now, trying to warp in these Zealots, but with the 2 Archons in the back, doing a lot of splash damage, it's not going to do much. And with the warp in, it looks like Terminator's laying down the killing blow right now.
It looks like it. Cal just a lot of probes, not a lot of army. He had a good economy. He made those Archons just in time for the defenses. Warp Prism does nothing. Look at Cal's face. He looks defeated. GG. That one Void Ray helped the fight out so much, but it was really just about army supply. Even without the Void Ray, I feel like Terminator just had too much there. And he puts his team into that 2-1 lead.
And you get having this 2-1 lead with Maru up next. That's where you want to be for JINAIR Groomings. They would have liked to take that first one as well, but Terminator making sure they can get Maru into this spot where he can just take this game. Cassia now is going to be up against Maru. This is a 1-2 that is wrong up there on the screen, but Cassia, could he possibly take this game against Maru as ZVT? One of our not as often played matchups in Pro League.